Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Anuja.
And I'm Hital, and today we're making a Chana Daal Halwa.
Now this is a little different halwa. It's a lot more hearty, and it's had and made over the winter seasons actually, because Chana Dal gives you a lot of warmth. So it's a perfect halwa to make over the winter time, but it's great any time of the year.
So for this recipe, of course, for the Chana Dal Halwa, we're using Chana Dal, and we have ½ cup right here. This is the dry version, and what we did is we washed it until the water ran clear, and we've soaked it for 3 hours in 3 cups of milk.
Now, ideally, you can soak it overnight in the milk, and you can put it in the fridge. So just the same thing, just put it in the fridge because you don't want the milk to curdle and stuff like that. But 3 hours out on the counter is absolutely fine. So we've got it soaking already in the pressure cooker, and we're just going to close it, and we're going to take it to the stove. And we're going to allow it to whistle once, reduce the temperature, and let it whistle one more time. Now, bottom line is you're trying to make that chana dal soft and mushy.
And we're going to turn the flame down to a simmer and let it go until it whistles one more time. So we switched off the stove after it whistled 2 times, and the pressure has gone down all by itself. And open it up. So let's take a look at the chana dal. Now, it looks whole, but if you take one of the dals and press it in your fingers like this, it easily breaks apart, and you know it's cooked just right.
So in a non-stick skillet, anytime you're boiling milk and working with milk, sometimes it's just better to use non-stick surfaces. You don't have to baby it as much. You're going to just transfer the milk and the chana dal, and we're going to allow it to come to boil. Now you really have to be around and make sure that the milk does not boil and does not burn at the bottom. And you want the chana dal to absorb all the milk basically, and you also want it to start crumbling. So after a little while, just start pressing down the chana dal so it breaks up, and it bottom line becomes a halwa.
So in case you don't have a pressure cooker, you can do this entire process on the stove top in a pan similar to this. It'll just increase your cooking time, and you have to constantly keep stirring. And this is going to keep cooking until it reduces quite a bit, and we'll be back. So it's been about 5 to 7 minutes, and we've been continuously stirring the mixture, and as you can see, the milk is starting to reduce, and the chana dal is starting to also break down a little bit.
And it's been an additional 3-4 minutes, and look at it, it's getting creamier. And at this point, I'm going to reduce the temperature of the stove a little bit more, so I have more control, because the milk tends to burn really fast. So just don't leave it side, and make sure you keep stirring. And at this point, you can start again pressing down the chana dal and help it to crush a little bit more. Just aid it a little bit. Now, you also don't want it to be a total mash. You want there to be a little texture. That's the beauty of this halwa. So this looks good. It's mashed down a little bit more, and it has reduced quite a bit. At this point, we're going to add in the sugar. We're going to add 1/3 cup of sugar and mix.
The sugar is always to taste. If you prefer a sweeter dessert dish, then you can add more, or you can scale back. The sugar, again, when it starts melting, it'll form more liquid, so we're going to wait for that liquid also to evaporate a bit.
So after another 2-3 minutes of cooking, we're going to add in a ½ cup of ghee, and I'm going to add in little at a time and keep mixing it in. So now the halwa has started absorbing the ghee, and then you're going to keep roasting it, keep stirring it, roasting it till it actually becomes a very soft, dryish, a little more dryish halwa.
Now the mixture is almost clumping together and coming together.
Yeah. So at this point, we're just going to add in, we're going to turn off the stove, and you are going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of elaichi powder or cardamom powder, and cashews to taste. You can also add in raisins or walnuts, whatever you like, whatever dry fruits you like, and it's ready to serve. Now this is best served hot.
So our chana dal halwa is ready to go. Now, what a big difference from when we started cooking and how liquidy the whole mixture was to
Right.
now. It's like just it looks so halwa-like. Yum.
Right, and the milk actually makes it creamier. Now a lot of people, what they do is they add additional cream to it, but I think this is good. You don't need to add anything additional, so it's like perfect for us. And the other thing is we used 2% milk. You can of course use whole milk, and the skim will not work, but whole milk works out really well. It becomes more creamy, but in the pressure cooker you have to be very careful because that tends to really burn very fast. So
higher fat content, it's going to
yes,
stick a little bit
lot
more.
So I'm actually armed with my spoon, ready to try.
It's got just the right amount of texture,
Yes.
and it's smooth and creamy at the same time. And once again, the sugar is completely up to you. This is perfect for how we like it, but I know a lot of people, desserts have to be super sweet, so just go ahead and add a little more sugar.
Right.
You have to cook it maybe a couple of minutes longer, but that's about it.
Absolutely. So just another variation for another halwa. So
Can never have too many dessert recipes.
that is so true.
So if you like this recipe and you want to see more from us, be sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel because it's absolutely free and you'll be the first to know every time we post a new recipe.
Yep. And so enjoy your chana dal halwa and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.